If you're thinking about moving to Richmond, Virginia, it's a really smart idea to do your research first. Because here's the truth. Some parts of Richmond might seem perfect at first glance, but depending on your needs, they might not be the right fit for you. And if you end up buying in the wrong spot, you could find yourself frustrated and wanting to sell quickly. And no one wants to deal with that kind of hassle, especially after a big life transition like a move. The good news is, by understanding a few key things about Richmond's different neighborhoods and the everyday realities most people don't hear about, you could avoid making a costly mistake up front. Who better to share this information with you than a native Richmonder and top producing realtor who helps folks just like you relocate to RVA every day? That's where I come in. Hey y'all, I'm Holly. In this video, we're going to break down what it's really like living in different parts of Richmond based on real experiences, local insight, and honest feedback from buyers who've been exactly where you are right now. You'll walk away with a much clearer picture of where you might fit best, and just as importantly, where you might want to avoid based on your lifestyle and goals. All right, let's break down Richmond and help you find the right place to call home. Let's hop over to the map. When people say Richmond, they often mean the Richmond metro area, not just the city of Richmond itself. Sometimes it's referred to as RVA, and it includes 17 different localities. Think of the city of Richmond as the center, right in the heart of it all. This is where you will find a lot of historic charm, local restaurants, murals, and yes, even some cobblestone streets. It's got that city heartbeat feel, but like any city, it's not all polished. It's vibrant, diverse, sometimes uneven, and always interesting. Now we have Henrico County. It wraps around the north, east, and west sides of the city and offers everything from urban conveniences to suburban calm. It's one of the ones I get the most questions about from those looking to relocate, and for good reason. It offers a lot of different lifestyle options depending on where you land. It has a little bit of everything: highly rated schools, tons of shopping and restaurants, established neighborhoods with mature trees, brand new developments, and even pockets of rural land if that's more your style. One thing people love about Henrico is how connected it is. You've got easy access to major highways like I-64, 295, and Broad Street running right through it. So whether you're commuting downtown or heading out to the airport, getting around is pretty convenient. Henrico is also home to a lot of the region's commercial and job centers. You've got major employers, big box retail, healthcare facilities, and even some Fortune 500 companies calling this area home. So for folks who want to live near work or just not spend their whole life in the car, Henrico is a strong contender. Henrico really is a choose-your-own-adventure kind of place, and whether you're a young professional, a growing family, or someone looking to downsize without sacrificing convenience, there's likely a pocket of Henrico that fits the bill. Now, let's head across the James River to Chesterfield County, which is south of the city. It's one of the largest counties in the metro area in terms of land mass, one of the fastest growing counties in the region, and a place a lot of relocating buyers ask me about, especially if they are looking for a new construction single-family home. Chesterfield is also packed with amenities: public parks like Pocahontas State Park for hiking, biking, and camping, tons of recreational programs, sports leagues, and community centers, and multiple high school, middle school, and elementary school districts. So if schools are a factor for you, there are definitely lots of options to explore. A lot of my clients who move to Chesterfield do so because they're looking for that suburban lifestyle with a little more elbow room, especially families who want a mix of outdoor space and nearby conveniences. But just like any big area, every part of Chesterfield feels a little different, so it's important to narrow down based on your goals and lifestyle. Now, let's move outwards, another layer starting to the north of Henrico. Hanover County, a spot that tends to fly under the radar for some people relocating here, but once they discover it, they're often pleasantly surprised. Hanover is a bit more laid back and rural in feel compared to places like Henrico or Chesterfield, but that's exactly what a lot of folks love about it. You'll find open fields, wooded lots, and small town charm, along with that close-knit community vibe that can be harder to find in bigger, busier areas. At the same time, Hanover isn't isolated. It's conveniently connected to 95 and 295, which makes commuting into Richmond or even heading up towards Fredericksburg or DC totally doable. You're also not far from big box stores and shopping hubs in Mechanicsville or even Short Pump, depending on where you are in the county. What really stands out about Hanover is that it offers a bit of a best of both worlds feel. You've got peaceful, scenic settings with space to spread out, but still access to award-winning schools, modern amenities, and local businesses that give a real sense of identity. Hanover is also known for being a little more traditional and slower paced. So if you're looking for a place where life feels a bit simpler, but you don't want to sacrifice quality of life, it's definitely worth a closer look. To the west of Henrico is Goochland County, a place that's all about space, privacy, and a slower pace of life, but it's still just close enough to the action when you need it. Goochland appeals to folks who want to feel like they're living out in the country. Wide open skies, tree-lined roads, and larger lots, but don't want to give up access to Richmond's restaurants, shops, and job centers. In fact, depending on where you are in Goochland, you can be in Short Pump in about 5 to 20 minutes, which makes it super convenient for commuting or running errands. One of the things I hear from clients who fall in love with Goochland is how peaceful it feels. No traffic noise, no dense development, just quiet, beautiful surroundings. If you're dreaming of a place where you can have a garden, keep chickens, or even build your forever home from the ground up, Goochland might be your place. Another big draw is that Goochland tends to have less commercial development. So if you're looking for that back road feel that scenic drives and fewer shopping centers offer, this area delivers. At the same time, you'll still find local wineries, equestrian properties, golf courses, and even some luxury communities tucked away in places like Mannequin Sabbath, which we'll touch on more in just a bit. Now, moving south of the river, from Goochland and to the west of Chesterfield County is Powhatan County. One of those places where once people visit, they say, I had no idea this even existed. It's quiet, scenic, and full of natural beauty. And for the right buyer, it's a total hidden gem. Powhatan is all about room to breathe. You'll find big lots, country roads, and the kind of peaceful living that just feels slower and simpler in the best way. As a matter of fact, don't be surprised if you're trying to head to the grocery store and get stuck behind a tractor. This is the spot for folks who don't mind being a little farther out if it means that they can trade in a tiny backyard for wide open space and starry nights. That said, Powhatan isn't disconnected. You've got Route 60 running through it, which takes you straight into Chesterfield and Midlothian. So getting to major shopping centers or even commuting to downtown Richmond isn't out of the question. It might be a longer drive, but a lot of people say it's worth it for the lifestyle they get in return. You'll see local festivals, farmers markets, and Friday night football games that feel like a big deal because here they are. And while there's still some new construction happening, most of Powhatan has held on to that country living feel, which makes it great for those wanting to get away from the hustle. I usually describe Powhatan as a place for folks who say, I don't need to be close to everything. I just want peace, privacy, and a good piece of land. And for buyers with that mindset, this area checks all of the boxes. Moving farther south, you have the Tri-Cities, Colonial Heights, Petersburg, and Hopewell. These three cities sit along the Appomattox River and each have their own unique vibe, but together they make up a region that's full of history, opportunity, and for the right buyer, real potential. Let's start with Petersburg. This city has deep roots in American history, especially when it comes to Civil War landmarks and architecture. In recent years, there's been a lot of buzz around the revitalization and historic buildings being restored and converted into apartments, lofts, and small businesses. It's one of those places where if you're okay with a little grit and a long-term vision, you might find investment opportunities or more space for your budget than you'd get closer to downtown Richmond. It's ideal for buyers who value historic charm, aren't afraid of a project, or want to be part of a community that's rebuilding and growing. Hopewell sits along the James and Appomattox rivers and has a strong industrial past. It's home to several major employers, including West Rock and the nearby military base, Fort Gregg Adams, formerly Fort Lee. What's cool about Hopewell is that it's seen small town revitalization as well. The downtown area has made some nice strides, and the waterfront is something many buyers don't even realize exists. The vibe here is more laid back, and for buyers looking for affordability, convenience to the military base, and a sense of small town community, Hopewell can really deliver. Then there's Colonial Heights, which tends to feel a little more suburban compared to its neighbors. It's got established neighborhoods, a more traditional retail corridor with the South Park Mall area, and quick access to 95. It often appeals to buyers who want to be near Richmond but aren't necessarily looking for a big city lifestyle. It's also got a tight-knit community-oriented feel with good access to schools and local parks. What ties the Tri-Cities together is affordability, access to major highways like 95 and Route 460, and proximity to both Richmond and Fort Gregg Adams. This area won't be for everyone, but if you're open to exploring, especially as prices continue rising in the core parts of RVA, it could be worth taking a closer look. Heading further north to the east of Hanover is King William County. It's growing but still holds on to its small town character. You'll find larger home sites, a mix of newer builds and classic country homes, and a more relaxed pace of life. Route 360 is your main artery in and out, which makes it commutable to Richmond, but just far enough away that you'll feel the difference in traffic, or the lack of it. Next stop, Charles City County. It's probably one of the most rural and quiet areas in the metro. A lot of people don't even know about it. But what it lacks in density, it makes up for in natural beauty and history. You'll find riverfront homes, farmland, and historic estates here. It's ideal for folks looking for peace, privacy, and a strong connection to the outdoors. It's not heavily developed, and that's part of its charm, but you'll want to be okay with longer drives for groceries or errands. New Kent County is tucked east of Henrico and Hanover along I-64, and it's one of the fastest growing counties of the region. It offers a really appealing mix of rolling countryside, equestrian properties, newer subdivisions, and golf course communities. You're also just a short drive from Williamsburg, so it's a great fit for buyers who want a peaceful rural feel but still need to access Richmond or the peninsula for work. People who move to New Kent often mention the quiet, the space, and how it feels like you're away from it all, even though you're really not. We also can't forget to mention Colonial Downs, which calls New Kent home. Buc-ee's will also soon be calling it home as well, and this is something a lot of people are excited about. We'll be hearing brisket on the board soon. Now, out another layer. We are still up north in Caroline County, which stretches along I-95 north to Hanover and just south of Fredericksburg. It's a bit of a bridge between Richmond and Northern Virginia, and it makes it a smart choice for folks who commute in both directions or want a little more land without giving up access to the highway. There are pockets of new construction here, but it still feels rural in a lot of places. If you're someone who doesn't mind driving a little further for your errands and likes the idea of getting a little more bang for your buck, Caroline might surprise you. Louisa County sits to the west beyond Hanover and Goochland, and it's known for its lakeside living near Lake Anna. While part of Louisa leans more towards Charlottesville side, a good chunk of it is still very accessible to Richmond. This area tends to draw outdoor enthusiasts and buyers who want a mix of affordability, space, and access to water recreation. Lake Anna alone is a huge draw for weekenders and year-round residents alike. Amelia County, southwest of Chesterfield, is another small, rural locality with a lot of charm. It's especially appealing to buyers who want land freedom and fewer restrictions, whether that's for farming, animals, or just having space to stretch out. There's not a lot of commercial development here, but that's exactly why people choose it. If you're dreaming of a country lifestyle with a slower pace, Amelia might just be your kind of place. Dinwiddie County is up next, and it's another largely rural agricultural area with small town vibes and a strong sense of community. You'll see everything from horse farms to family homes with big front porches, and it's ideal for those who want more land and less noise. Like other rural areas, it's not for everyone, but if you enjoyed running to the local gas station to grab the best bologna burger ever, this place might speak to you. And lastly, but certainly not least, heading to the east now is Prince George. It wraps around the southern edge of the Tri-Cities, including parts of Fort Gregg Adams. This area is often considered by military families and those working in logistics or manufacturing, thanks to the presence of Amazon, Rolls-Royce, and other large employers. You'll find neighborhoods, rural stretches, and newer developments here. So it offers a little bit of everything at a price point that's generally more affordable than the inner suburbs. Each area has its own vibe, personality, pros, and quirks, and understanding that makes all the difference. And if you're wondering how it all connects, the big highways help define how people move through the region. I-95 runs north to south, connecting the East Coast and cutting right through Richmond. I-64 goes east to west, great for getting to Charlottesville or heading out to the beaches. You've also got I-295 and Route 288 that form loops around the metro area, making it easier to avoid city traffic if you're heading out to the suburbs. The Poway Parkway and Downtown Expressway give you quick access in and out of the city. Just keep in mind these are toll roads, so be sure you come prepared with a few dollars of change or get the Easy Pass. Now, you may recall that I have mentioned in other videos about different areas having multiple different names. Here's where that comes in. We're going to look at some of the most commonly asked about spots, starting with the city of Richmond. Let's talk about the Fan. If you're someone who wants to live where the city hums, where you can walk to coffee shops, grab dinner at a buzzy new spot, and catch a show without ever needing to move your car, the Fan might be your dream come true. This area is full of charm, with row houses, historic architecture, and that classic Richmond energy. But it's not for everyone. If quiet streets, big yards, or easy parking are must-haves for you, the Fan could feel more frustrating than fun. Now, over in Churchill, the vibe is rich with character and a true sense of local flavor. There's strong community feel, beautiful renovated homes, and incredible views of the city skyline from Libby Hill. But here's the reality. You're going to see a lot of contrast. One block might feel picture perfect, and the next still in transition. If you love charm and don't mind a little uneven development, Churchill might be your place. Manchester is just across the river, and it has been booming with development. It's got that next hot neighborhood energy. With new construction, converted lofts, and local breweries are everywhere. If you're the kind of person who loves getting in before the rest of the crowd and you want to be close to downtown without paying top-tier prices yet, Manchester is worth a serious look. Now let's head into Henrico County, starting with Short Pump. If you want turnkey luxury, award-winning schools, and just about every store and restaurant imaginable within a 10-minute drive, Short Pump is it. It's located in western Henrico and, as a matter of fact, is home to one of the biggest retail corridors in central Virginia. The homes here are newer and it's incredibly convenient, but heads up, it's one of the most expensive parts of the county and it doesn't exactly have that old Richmond charm. If you're craving character over convenience, this might not be your vibe. This area has definitely seen a lot of change over the last 30 years. I can remember when it was mostly farmland and woods. It certainly isn't that anymore. Next up, Glen Allen. Think of this as the quieter cousin of Short Pump. Still suburban and convenient, but with a little more breathing room and a wide variety of neighborhoods, which makes it pretty versatile. You'll find everything from planned communities and golf course neighborhoods to more established areas with mature trees and larger lots. It's a solid choice for people who want to be close to Short Pump, Innsbrook, and even downtown without paying quite as much as you would inside the fanfare of Short Pump proper. It's great for folks who want that neighborhood feel, award-winning schools, and easier access to both the city and the outer counties. And then there's Verina on the east side of Henrico with a totally different feel from Short Pump and Glen Allen. If you're drawn to open space, a more rural atmosphere, and lower home prices without sacrificing proximity to downtown, Verina has a lot to offer. You'll find everything from farmland to newer developments to historic homes near the James River. Verina has deep roots in Richmond's history, and many families have been here for generations. But you'll also see new faces moving in, drawn to the idea of peace and privacy without being hours away from the city. It feels more relaxed and less built up than the western part of the county, perfect for people who want room to spread out and don't mind driving a bit further for amenities. Tuckahoe sits just south of Short Pump and west of the city of Richmond, and it's got a lovely established suburban feel. Think tree-lined streets, brick colonials, and quiet cul-de-sacs. This area is popular for folks who want the convenience of Henrico but don't necessarily want to live in newer developments. You'll find proximity to shopping and recreation and easy access to downtown or the West End. Tuckahoe has more of that classic Richmond suburb vibe, which makes it feel timeless, and it's especially popular with buyers who value stability, charm, and well-maintained neighborhoods. For our last stop at Henrico, Lakeside is one of Richmond's best-kept secrets, a little off the radar but full of personality, especially for those who appreciate vintage charm and quirky character. Tucked just north of the city of Richmond, Lakeside offers an affordable, close-in option with a whole lot of heart. What makes Lakeside special is its eclectic mix of homes. You'll see everything from 1940s bungalows and Cape Cods to renovated ranchers and the occasional mid-century gem. It's not cookie cutter, and that's exactly the appeal for people who want something with a little more soul. You've got Lewis Gitter Botanical Gardens right in the neighborhood, which is magical year-round, and a growing number of local coffee shops, antique stores, and breweries that give the area its artsy, laid-back vibe. It attracts first-time buyers, creative types, and people who want a real sense of community without being too far from downtown. The trade-off, some streets are still transitioning, and you'll want to do your homework block by block. But if you're okay with a little grit and love the idea of investing at a place with upward momentum, Lakeside might just win your heart. Heading into Chesterfield County, let's start with Midlothian. If your priorities are space, nature, and family-friendly living, and you don't mind a longer commute, Midlothian might be calling your name. Located in northwestern Chesterfield County, this area offers a great balance between suburban convenience and a more relaxed residential pace. It's known for top-rated schools, established neighborhoods, new construction options, and access to parks, golf courses, and reservoirs like the Swift Creek Reservoir. You'll find everything from large brick colonials and traditional two-stories to new craftsman-style builds and master-planned communities. The commute into downtown Richmond can be a little longer depending on where you're coming from, but for many people, the quiet streets, strong sense of community, and access to green space more than makes up for it. Midlothian is ideal for folks who want to put down roots and grow into a place without feeling too far removed from restaurants, shopping, and good coffee. Woodlake is a well-known planned community in the Moseley area nestled around the Swift Creek Reservoir. It offers the classic neighborhood feel with an outdoor lifestyle twist. If you want sidewalks, trails, a community pool, and water views, Woodlake is worth a serious look. It's especially popular for families and active folks who enjoy a more laid-back, outdoorsy lifestyle without going full rural. Homes here range from townhomes to larger single-family homes, many built in the 80s and 90s, so you'll often see mature trees, big yards, and more character than cookie-cutter builds. It's the kind of neighborhood where kids ride bikes after school and people know their neighbors. If you're looking for a strong sense of community, access to schools, and that classic neighborhood vibe, Woodlake delivers. But be mindful, there is a rather strict HOA, so be sure you are okay with having to follow all the rules. Bon Air is one of Chesterfield's most distinct and character-rich areas, located closer to the Richmond city line. If you want a neighborhood with history, charm, and a mix of architecture, Bon Air should be on your radar. Originally developed as a summer retreat for Richmonders escaping the city heat, it still has that easygoing front porch kind of energy, just with a more suburban flair now. You'll see older homes with personality, shaded lots, and some mid-century ranches alongside newer infill builds. It has a bit of an eclectic artsy energy, and people who love Bon Air tend to love it a lot. It's ideal for folks who want something less cookie cutter, close to the city, but not right in the middle of it. It's also got that vintage Richmond vibe that appeals to people looking for charm with a side of convenience. It's also super convenient. You're just a short drive to downtown, the West End, or Midlothian Turnpike shopping. Bon Air is a great fit if you want a central location, a neighborhood with a little soul, and a place that doesn't feel overly planned or polished in the best way. In Hanover County, Ashland stands out as a true small town gem. There's a real Main Street, trains that still roll through town, and Randolph-Macon College right in the heart of it. Ashland is one of those places that feels like it came straight from a Hallmark movie in the best way possible. Known as the center of the universe, this small town in Hanover County has a quirky charm, a downtown spanning several blocks, and a train that literally runs right through the heart of it. As a matter of fact, they have a whole celebration around the train every April. But it's a little farther out, so just be sure you're okay with a longer drive to the city. It's perfect for folks who want that small town Americana vibe with locally owned shops, cafes, farmers markets, and a real sense of community. Randolph-Macon College adds a little energy and an art scene to the mix, but Ashland never loses its cozy, slow it down kind of pace. Home styles here range from historic Victorians and charming cottages to newer craftsman-style homes and townhomes just outside the main stretch. If you're looking for character, community events, and neighbors who wave, Ashland might be your match. Mechanicsville is a practical, down-to-earth suburb of Hanover that checks a lot of boxes for people who want affordability, convenience, and space. Located in eastern Hanover County, it's a popular choice for commuters who want quick access to I-295 and I-64, and it tends to offer more square footage for the price than other areas closer to the city. You'll find a mix of newer subdivisions, older ranchers and split levels, and even homes with land depending on how far out you go. It has more traditional suburban vibe. Think chains and big box stores mixed with longtime local spots that residents swear by. Mechanicsville is ideal for families who want stable, friendly community, room to spread out, and family access to both downtown and the countryside, or those just looking for a little bit of a slower pace in life. It may not be flashy, but it's reliable, and a lot of people really appreciate that. Last but not least, let's head out to Goochland County and talk about Mannequin Sabbath. If you've been dreaming of rolling hills, scenic drives, and elegant homes with privacy, Mannequin Sabbath in Goochland County could be exactly what you're picturing. This area feels quietly upscale. It's not about showing off, but it is about space, quality, and peace of mind. You'll find luxury homes, equestrian properties, estate-style builds, and newer custom homes tucked behind trees and gates. It has a rural feel, but is still just a quick drive to Shore Pump, thanks to easy access to Route 288 and Broad Street. Mannequin Sabbath is great for those who want to feel a world away from the noise, but still be close enough to hit Whole Foods or grab dinner with friends. It's especially appealing to those who work from home, commute west of the city, or just crave privacy with a polished touch. Now let's wrap this up. Here's the truth. Finding the right spot in Richmond isn't just about home prices or pretty photos. It's about finding a community that actually fits how you want to live. The lifestyle, the energy, the trade-offs. And if you're feeling overwhelmed trying to figure out where you belong or worried about ending up somewhere that just doesn't feel right, you're not alone. A lot of people feel that way when they're relocating. That's why having someone in your corner, someone who truly knows these neighborhoods, who understands the hidden gems and the potential pitfalls, can make a huge difference. It could save you time, stress, and maybe even thousands of dollars in the long run. If you're planning a move to RBA and want real, personalized advice based on your needs and goals, just call the number on the screen. I'd love to help you find your perfect fit here. And if you're still in the early stages and wondering whether Richmond is even the right move for you, make sure to check out this next video right here. It's a full, honest breakdown of the real pros and cons of living in RVA, and it'll give you even more clarity on which part of the metro area matches what you're looking for.